Right, so apparently now ISIS are on the side of Brexit. Dave, mate, you're losing it. The desperation is clear for all to see. Honestly, look, here's a fucking point, right? ISIS are not voting for Brexit or Remain. ISIS are not going to fucking benefit or be any worse off for Brexit or Remain. What might happen if we remain is we might have an EU army, and in which case we actually won't have a choice who we go to war against, because the decision won't be made by us. And if you actually think David Cameron's ever going to stand up to the EU, don't hold your breath. I mean, we've got Ed Miliband saying meteors are going to hit the Earth. Do you know, I forget most of them now. What's going to happen if we Brexit? Most of the ridiculous fucking analogies. The point was, I mean, those are all things that could possibly happen in the warped, drugged up, delusional mind of a politician. I mean, meteors might hit the Earth, you know. It could happen. Not because of Brexit, but it could happen anyway. But really, ISIS, no one gives a fuck about it. Whether they support Brexit or Remain, or whether they support the fucking royal family, it doesn't really fucking matter. It has no bearing on the situation whatsoever. But then that's about the same amount of bearing that most of the politicians in Whitehall have on, well, reality, really, at this point. I was reminded, I put up a post on Facebook about if we Brexit, all the seagulls will eat all the bread out of the bakeries forevermore. And I was reminded by a friend of mine, I won't name her because I haven't asked if I can name her or not, so I'm not going to go down that line. About IndyRef in Scotland. When David Cameron was talking to the cameras and saying things like, oh yes, independent Scotland would be great and all that thing. And then him and Brown and Clegg, I think, was it, all rushed up to Scotland to try and stop it happening. I gotta be honest, I don't remember. Maybe I've got rose-tinted spectacles or something. I don't remember in all my life politicians intervening in our lives to such an extent. I don't remember them campaigning for things like this. Okay, I was probably a bit too young for the original EU thing. I don't know what... I believe some of them were speaking in favour of that. But I don't... nothing springs to mind about anything since all this IndyRef in Scotland kicked off, where they became so fucking involved in shit that really wasn't their concern. And on one hand, that's quite funny, and on the other hand, it really does fucking worry me, because is this what it's going to come to, that every single issue which is going to affect our lives to this extent, we've got them all bleating on and on and on. Oh, and Dave's on this side and Boris is on this side. Boris used to be pro, right? And the only reason he's been put in charge of Brexit is because if Brexit happens, we're going to have a second referendum. That's where it's at. Because Cameron will be gone. He'll step in as Prime Minister and then say, right, we're going to do this until you get the right answer. Because this is the worrying part. This is, we're given these votes, we're given these choices after, months of valiant campaigning by several thousand. The people on the street are the only reason this EU referendum is happening, not Whitehall. We're given this choice, we're given this chance to vote on this, and then it's wrong. The result's wrong. And the way this is going, with these politicians like chipping in like this and having all the, we must explain to you why being in the EU is a good thing. Well, look, whether we end up in it or not, I think most people can make up their own fucking minds as to whether the EU is, and go, oh look, there's two X's on the box, yes or no. Well, fuck me. Oh, I don't know what that fucking means. I think most people, can look at the fucking situation and disseminate what's good and what's bad for them, and that's really the reason people make a choice with a ballot. So we don't need all this shit, and this is what, it's going to be. If we Brexit, there's going to be a second. I'm convinced of it. Absolutely fucking convinced of it. And David Cameron will still be there in the fucking shed. Well, he'll be in House of Lords, won't he? Because that's where they all go now, when they leave. They all get a lordship. You've served your country valiantly. And no, you haven't. You fucking robbed thousands in expenses. You fucking hardly in the House of Commons. Who's seen Gordon Brown like that? For fuck's sake. Hardly in the House of Commons, claimed Spencer's worth of fucking thousands, cut fucking benefits for disabled people, and then you swanned off to the House of Lords, 300 quid a day just for turning up, you fucking thieving wankers. But it is this is the end game, I think, is that they're going to now, possibly with the help of ISIS, they're going to now basically be running these campaigns and these smear tactics. I mean, let's face it, the Remain campaign's been nothing but smear fucking tactics, has it? Fucking pathetic. Oh, the dinosaurs are going to roam England and eat all the fucking family pets. Well, I don't think any of them are fucking there, Not really. Anyway, look, Dave, fuck off, will you? We don't fucking care. and ISIS has got nothing to do with fucking anything to do with the EU referendum. You fucking tosser, mate. Right, anyway, with that,